Hello and welcome to another live edition of the Premier Sports Plays UEFA Champions League in-play betting show. I'm your host, Harry Simeon. I'm delighted to be joined once again by the brilliant Nigel Seeley. How you doing, mate?
I'm all right, Harry. Lazio there just pissed me off straight away. I mean, that's the first thing. I mean, 2-1 up, 10 men, better side, sit back and just were lucky to scrape through. The tactics there, Lazio, were absolutely disgusting. And, 2-1 down to 10 men. They were 1 to 10. So minus, you put $1,000 on, you would have won $100. That's how much value we got and didn't get the result, which is a bit of a sickener. But anyway, there's no other plays tonight. So it's all about in play. So let's just have a good night and try to get some money on that instead.
Good stuff. Before we get into tonight's remaining fixtures, just a quick reminder, we are running our weekly competition. So you need to predict how many goals there are going to be in the rest of tonight's Champions League games. That's the 8 p.m. kickoffs. I'll quickly take you through what the games are. If you don't know already, it's Chelsea versus Krasnodar, Rennes versus Sevilla. Then it's Barcelona versus Juventus, Dynamo Kiev versus Ferencvaros in Group G. And in Group H, it's Paris Saint-Germain versus Istanbul Başakşehir. And RB Leipzig take on Manchester United. So in those remaining 6 fixtures, how many goals will there be? Get your entries in the chat. You've got until kickoff, 8 p.m. to get those in. Any entries put in after that will not be included in the competition. So get your entries in nice and on time, and the winner will receive £50 credit on the premiersportsplays.com website. So keep those coming in. Nigel, the biggest game, I would say, this evening is that game that I mentioned between RB Leipzig and Manchester United. Me and you covered a Manchester United game at the weekend, and in the first half they were all over the shop, but in the second half they made some huge improvements by bringing on a couple of subs. It looks like he's gone with 2 up front tonight, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Rashford and Greenwood. Bruno Fernandes is in the side, but he's gone with a very safe approach, I think. He's got a back 3, couple of wing backs. He fears Leipzig, it seems, a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, they're without Martial, who I think they're going to miss on the pace and the counter-attack away from home. And obviously, they're without Cavani. It's a game that both sides have to win. So there's going to be goals. I really think tonight that's going to be a really, really crazy game. I expect the goals. And obviously, they won the game from the players they brought off the bench, Harry, in the midweek. The trouble is what Manchester United turn up. If it's the Manchester United that turn up in the first half against West Ham, they lose this game 2 or 3-0 against Leipzig. If it's the Manchester United that finish the game, then they can beat them. Obviously, they've beaten them by 5 goals in the reverse fixture, but I don't think anything like that at all. When we were doing the betcast on Saturday night, Manchester United were favourites to win this match. Now the betting public have spoken, and they've made Leipzig favourites to win this match. And I think that is probably right. Given home advantage and given them coming in the back of a 3-3 draw against Bayern Munich at the weekend. I think you've just got to expect goals in this game. 3 is the line. It was very short for me. I was very tempted to put this bet up as a bet, but the price really put me off slightly. 3 would be a push is the line you can get. If you want to play over 2.5, you get about minus 170. If you like that kind of price, then over 2.5 is potentially a good bet, because whenever Leipzig play, you know what to expect. You know there's going to be goals, and whenever Manchester United play away from home, it seems in the Premier League there's goals as well. So I think it's going to be very interesting to see what happens tonight. But the one thing I do expect is goals, and I expect there's a few goals in a lot of games. If we go through the games tonight before we go into sort of some match specifics, look at the total goals markets. The one that intrigues me is Juventus against Barcelona, because these are obviously 2 European giants. But really, there's absolutely nothing to play for. It's a head-to-head between Messi and Ronaldo to see who gets the latest bragging rights in the top, the best footballer in the world. And any given day, you would sort of expect goals in that game. But because there's nothing at stake for each side, do they both take the shackles off and go for it, or do they play out a very low-scoring game. And I was actually amazed how high the goals were pitched for this match. I mean, the goals were pitched at around about 3.5, which I think is quite high, given that there's absolutely nothing at stake. And to get like minus minus 136 on under 3.5, in a game with nothing at stake with these two sides. That was quite an interesting one for me. And that was an angle that I'm going to look in play if this game goes the way that in the first 25 minutes and back. You'll see whether it could be 3-3 or 4-4. It could be 0-0. It's going to be one of those kind of matches, I think, Barcelona. If we look at the other games this evening, Leipzig, I fancied goals. Chelsea have put out a fairly decent side, actually. I know they've rested a lot of players, but they've still got a very good side to show you how good their squad is. I think they should beat Krasnodar very easy, and I expect them to probably win by 2 goals and with a nil at the end of the day for Krasnodar, because Krasnodar are for nothing. Dynamo Kiev, Ferencváros, I don't really particularly have much of a view in that match whatsoever. Paris Saint-Germain, very strong tonight. Got to go for the win, and I think they'll win by more than 2. But the handicap is extremely high. And Rennes against Seville, I think that could be quite low scoring. So it's a mixed bag of high scoring games and low scoring games. And tonight I've thrown the dart, and the dart has come out at number 19 tonight. I think 19. If you're around about 19 total goals this evening, I don't think you'll be far wrong.
We've got a number of entries, actually, of 19 goals. Josh Riente, our winner from last week with that magnificent call of 13, he's gone with 18. But the entries so far that have come in range from 15 up to 21. So it sounds like your call of 19, Nigel, is around about the average there. So we could potentially be right on the money there, but we're going to have to assess that one and see how it goes throughout the night. Let's
listen. Can I just say something?
Yeah.
Don't use me as a guide, because my form in the last 10 days has been absolutely dreadful. So I'm out of form, and unfortunately, the weekend was my worst week in 25 years. So I'm not in the greatest of form. So don't use me thinking it could be 19. If I'm saying 19, go 10. Go 32. Don't go 19, because 19 is probably not the best thing. But we just had. I'm a bit sick about that Lazio match, to be honest with you. 2-1, player sent off. Everything's going to script. How you shouldn't really lose from there, really. And they were lucky to get a draw at the end of it with Bruges in the bar. I said to you, didn't I, before we come on air? I said there's going to be a goal here.
Yeah, and you did indeed.
They smashed it against the bar. But I think tonight, really, in running, I think the Leipzig Man United game is going to be brilliant for in running betting. I think because the way the game is set up, do or die, with two sides that like to attack, I think that's going to be a really, really, really good game.
Yep, fingers crossed. There's plenty of entertainment coming your way throughout the evening. Nigel says he's out of form, but just remember that form is temporary and class is permanent. Great phrase, that. Doug Wedge in the chat says Lazio could have lost that 4-2. They could have in the end. It was a crazy end to the game.
You say that though. Let's be honest with you though. Lazio were 2-1 up, and just before Immobile came off, they played him square, and he was on the right foot, and he had a great chance to make it 3-1. And at 3-1, Bruges' tails, they're over. The game's over. But Lazio played confidence. They thought they qualified. And what they did is they took that they made a triple set. They put a triple substitution, and they played for what they had, and then they got caught. They got caught out with a goal, and then it changed the comeback to the game. But regardless how they played, regardless how a team plays in the second half, regardless what happened, if you're 2-1 up at half time or in the second half of a Champions League game, and you're down to 10 players, and you're 1-9 to win the match, you should win the match. The one thing I've seen tonight, whoever Lazio play in the last 16, Lazio are going to get stuffed.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment, to be fair. Just quick, have a look at a couple of the team selections tonight. Nigel mentioned that game between the two European heavyweights, Barcelona and Juventus. Both Messi and Ronaldo start that game. Morata starts for Juve, as does Griezmann for Barcelona. So plenty of talent on the field in that one. But Nigel's absolutely right. There's nothing to play for there. So we could see that one play out as a little bit of a stalemate. Paris Saint-Germain, who Nigel mentioned, they're at home to Istanbul. Başakşehir in Manchester United's group, and they need to win so that they can ensure that nothing happens in the other game that leaves them scrambling for qualification. If PSG win, they are through. It's a really interesting group, that one, because all three sides, Paris Saint-Germain, Manchester United and RB Leipzig, are all on 9 points going into this final round of matches. So really interesting group that. If you haven't got your entries in for today's competition, you've got around about 3 minutes to get those in the live chat. I can see there's lots of you joining us now. So if you haven't already, make sure you smash the like button as well and get your entries in before we close the competition.
Yeah, you've got to get that in. You've got to get it in. And I'm not going to make any comments about someone who's going very low or very high, because last week it cost me £200, £250. So I was very generous, and I gave the 13 quote to it was Josh, wasn't it? I gave Josh the 13 quote. I gave him £240 worth of subscription for it. So I'm not going to make any comment on that anymore. But yeah. So I mean, I tell you one thing tonight. I mean, Chelsea are playing tonight against Krasnodar, and my Facebook page popped up from 2 years ago today, and I went to watch the Chelsea under-21 team playing, doing my research. That's how much research I do in this. And my friend's son was playing for Chelsea. And I watched a young player play midfield. And I think he was about 15 or 16. And I was with my dad and my brother. And I said to my dad, he was just head and shoulders above everybody on the pitch. He was exceptional. And his name was Billy Gilmore, who's playing tonight for Chelsea. And he's a Scottish international, and he is absolute class. He's had a terrible injury last season, and he's back tonight. And I saw him in the team sheet just because he's quite attack-minded. He's confident. He takes free kicks. He plays the ball. I bet him tonight to score at any time in the match, just because it's a game where they're probably going to score maybe they're in for. They're 2 goals favourites against a side like Krasnodar, who got nothing to play for. They could win 3 or 4-0, and he was 4-1 to score at any time. But trust me, this boy is absolute quality. He's only small. He's about 5'4", 5'5", but the vision on him, best player I saw at that age for a long time. Quality, really quality, and he's got opportunities tonight. And I think against Krasnodar, he'll shine. Billy Gilmore.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I've seen bits of Billy Gilmore, and he's a really exciting talent. And fingers crossed for your bet, Nigel, that he does get himself on the score sheet this evening. Competition, you got 1 minute left to get your answers in. Keep them coming. I can see plenty more coming through. Have you got any domestic plays tonight, Nigel, at all?
Nothing tonight. I don't know if there's been any early goals, but I was very tempted to play Watford minus. Well, if you scored one, I've just checked. Watford have got mine. I was very tempted to play Watford -1, but Watford are quite low scoring at home, so they would win 1-0 and then sit back. So that that put me off, thinking that if they win 1-0, they're probably 1-0, but they've got an early goal, so that's no good. Millwall Queens Park Rangers is a clash of two styles. Millwall very good defensively, not so very good attack minded, whereas QPR have got much better offensive players, but defensively they're terrible. And probably the biggest cheer for us tonight as the season is we've got Stoke, who are one of our picks to win the championship this season, and they're at home to Cardiff. But I think Stoke Cardiff could be very low scoring, but I think the odds reflect that. Stoke have been very high scoring this season, but Cardiff are a side that are involved in a lot of low scoring games. So I think Stoke v Cardiff could be a very, very low scoring game. So that was mine. I didn't really think after the weekend. I mean, the weekend was, like I say, it was absolutely fucking ridiculous. But yeah, I didn't find any value, and I just couldn't really see any play that was made any sense to get involved in. But Watford -1 was the only bet that I possibly liked.
Yeah, Cool, good stuff. Watford are 2-0 up now. It looks like.
Right.
Let's see what you guys are saying in the comments. Matthew Robbins says, "If we have 5 minutes tonight, let's speak about the North London derby."
I'd
I think
rather,
we'll
I'd
avoid
rather,
that. I
I'd
think we'll
rather
avoid
speak
that.
about it. I'd rather speak about it for the whole show if you want it. I've got no problem about it at all. I thought Tottenham were excellent. To be fair, though, Harry, I was actually out on Sunday, and I came back and I watched the last 25 minutes, and I watched that game, and like as an Arsenal fan as you are, I would be pulling my hair out if I had any, because they had all the possession, and all it was get the ball in and just put a cross into the box. And they didn't get the ball and try to beat a player and then put the ball in. They just got it onto, like, Willian kept getting onto his right foot and just putting it straight in. And you're putting it into Aubameyang, and you're putting it into Lacazette, who are not the biggest of players, against some big hefty centre halves and holding midfielders at Tottenham. It was absolutely terrible. I just don't understand why they just playing behind and get the ball out. It's mad.
It's been the story of Arsenal's season, to be honest. Lots of possession, but not making anything of it. And we've got a couple of Arsenal games coming up this month on our betcast. So I've got to be honest, I'm not looking forward to those. But yeah, when you do the job that I do, and you had to spend all of Monday talking about the game on various platforms, it's kind of therapeutic, and it helps.
If you was doing the game, if you were talking about that game on many platforms, it would be platforms at train stations to throw yourself off bloody train. not platform. They're the only platforms you needed to be talking about that game, mate. That's the only platform.
Agreed. Right, we're underway in the UEFA Champions League. We're underway in all the games now. 0-0 across the board. A couple of the games kicked off just a minute or so late. Not sure why. The game between Leipzig and Manchester United being one of them. Leipzig in possession at the moment. It does look as though Manchester United have set up with that back five. I'm just going by what I can see from their shape now that Leipzig are in possession. Of course, Leipzig are without Upamecano tonight. One of their star defenders, who is receiving lots and lots of praise in the media and being linked with a number of big clubs. Be interesting to see if he moves on in the coming months. It's 0-0 everywhere else. Chelsea, Krasnodar, Barcelona, Juventus, PSG, Istanbul, Başakşehir, Rennes versus Seville, and Dynamo Kiev versus Ferencvaros. Lazio, of course, qualified for the next round, but were held to a draw at the hands of Club Bruges, as we were discussing at the top of the show. And of course, Zenit were beaten by Dortmund in St. Petersburg this evening.
Harry, I'm going to have a bet in play already. I'm going to bet the under 3.5 goals in the Barcelona Juventus game. It's gone bigger than what I thought it was going to be. It's now it's minus 162. I'm just going to take a very, very small chance on that, because I think that that's going to be. I think 3.5 goal line is too high. I really do.
There's been a goal in the game between RB Leipzig and Manchester United. It's the German Bundesliga side that have taken the lead. And of all the people in the Leipzig team, it's Angelino, the former Manchester City man, who has just scored to put Manchester United a goal down. We spoke about the five-man defence. We spoke about the cautious approach from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But we're just a couple of minutes in and they're already behind. It was a lovely ball in towards the back post area. Wonderful cross. And there was Angelino. It was Sabitzer that played the ball. Angelino strikes it cleanly with the laces back across the goal. And it's 1-0 to RB Leipzig.
Yeah, it's a huge goal, obviously, and that really now makes these goals and this information. Manchester United will be playing Champions League football, to Europa League football as we stand. Paris Saint-Germain will be in second. Leipzig will win the group, but now it opens this game up. Manchester United have to go all-out attack. Let's have a look what that does on the odds. I mean, you can't see this game not producing lots and lots and lots of goals. I mean, that's what we said pre-match. The line now is, look at the goals here. The line now is over 3.5 minus 150. You've got to bet that. You've got to bet over 3.5. I'm going to bet that. I'm going to have 4 or 5 units on that, because Manchester United would attack and they're going to go all out and they have to go, and they're going to, this is a perfect start for the neutral. There's going to be goals. It could bring the bookings up, but I think over 3.5 goals is got to be the bet here. So I've got over 3.5 goals in the Leipzig v Man United game, and I've gone under 3.5 goals in the Barcelona Juventus game. I think that Barcelona Juventus game could be the one game tonight that might not go the way that we expect it to go. I think that could be unders.
Paul says, took a shot with Juventus draw. Is that worth a shot in your opinion, Nigel?
A few people have mentioned that to me, thinking that maybe it could be a draw because the two sides got nothing to play for. But obviously, the incentive to win the group is very much up for the winners, which is huge. But I think at the prices, I think it was something like approaching plus $3. That's too big. Yeah, I mean, on the value point of view, the draw is the biggest price out of all three outcomes, which has to be a bet. So I wouldn't put you off that. But hopefully the 0-0 draw or the 1-1 draw, so we can catch the under 3.5. But I think 3.5 is too high, Barcelona Juventus. I really do.
We're still looking at pictures from the game between Leipzig and Manchester United. Leipzig having all of the ball at the moment. It remains goalless everywhere else. I can see there are over 60 of you tuned in right at this moment. And I can only see we've got 7 likes on the video, guys. So please, if you haven't already, smash the like button. It doesn't cost a thing. Just hit the button. It really helps Premier Sports plays this channel out. So please, if you haven't already done that, get clicking on that like button. We're just seeing pictures now from the game between Paris Saint-Germain and RB Leipzig. Neymar going down under a challenge. They're so good at carrying the ball.
What a shock that is! Neymar going down. Neymar going down on the challenge. If you had $1 for every time you probably had that, you'd never have to work again. Neymar going down under a challenge. It's just have a look. I mean, there's some obviously big games. Group H is the one where all the eyes are. Group G, obviously, Barcelona Juventus is going to finish first and second. What order we'll find out probably. And then you've got. If you look at the Dortmund now, Dortmund have won the group. Lazio are second. Chelsea and Seville are going to finish first and second. So that's pretty much over as far as the groups are concerned. So I think really the big picture tonight is that game. The whole lot is Group H. That's where everything is. I mean, the Ferencváros Dynamo Kiev game is another one. You know, absolutely nothing really at stake apart from a place in the Europa League. It's a Europa League playoff. No. And you know, if you look at the stats. You know, Ferencváros have conceded 16 goals in this campaign, and Dynamo Kiev has scored 13. So you would think that could be unders, but they have played Barcelona twice and Juventus twice, so they're quite misleading. The fact that they the goal stats. So I think there's a couple of games tonight that we may expect goals, but it may not happen. But the one we did think would happen would be Man United Leipzig, and they're 1-0 already.
You'll be disappointed to know, Nigel, that Billy Gilmore had a shot from outside the penalty area that looked like it was on target, and Tammy Abraham got in the way and blocked it. So that's that. It's
about my luck at the moment, mate. To be fair,
yeah. Ren going close to opening the score against Sevilla, but the effort was put just wide. Let's have a look at a few other bits and pieces from around Europe. Watford are still 2-0 up, by the way, in that game in the Championship. So that -1 that you were talking about, Nigel, might have been a bit of a goer.
I think Stoke, if you're looking at some unders in their game, I think Stoke against Cardiff could be an under. Like I say, Stoke have had some high-scoring games recently, but usually they're a very low-scoring side. And Cardiff are very, very defensive-minded. It's quite short, though. It's like almost coming up to -$3 under 2.5. But -1.5 is +120. I wouldn't put you off betting the under 1.5 or under 2.5 in the Stoke game in play. That could be a decent thing. The Stoke XG, which means the amount of chances they create in a football match, is very, very low. And Cardiff is very, very low as well. So I wouldn't be surprised to see that game being quite low scoring at all.
Just seeing what's going on in the game between Barca and Juve. Actually, Juve, the ones taking the game to the hosts. PSG with an effort here. It's going to fall to Mbappe. Thinks about shooting. The angle's not there. Oh, brilliant from Mbappe to skip past a couple of players. Rolls it across the penalty area. No one there to turn it in. And then a shot from the edge of the box from Paredes, I think it was, just wide of the goal. So Games are starting to liven up a little bit. We've still got just the one goal at the moment. That goal in the game between Leipzig and Manchester United. Angelino, the man who scored it. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's got some thinking to do. We're watching pictures from that game now, and there could potentially be a counter-attack here for Manchester United. Mason Greenwood, he's got Rashford in support of him.
Why is he playing
inside.
it?
Greenwood,
Why didn't he play him?
He should have played him in.
He should have played him in first time. He shouldn't have taken the great. It was the wrong decision.
Should have played him in.
He should have played it when he had the chance. He had the shot. Yeah, I mean, that's that was a bad move. But let's have a look. Stoke have gone 1-0 up. I thought that might be quite an unders, but they've just scored, which is a bit of it's a good cheer really for us as well as a bad cheer. Obviously, if you bet under 2.5, but Stoke are one of our selections to win that division. So I think if they win that game, I'm not mistaken, they go either second or I think they go second if they win that game tonight. So and if Bournemouth lose at Swansea, then Stoke will go top, and our two pre-season tips in the Championship, Stoke and Norwich, will be first and second. So our future positions are looking quite good. There's a penalty in Barcelona.
Yep, it's the softest penalty you'll ever see. I can't believe that the VAR hasn't overturned this. This is ridiculous. I said that Juventus were putting the pressure on Barcelona. Ronaldo went past Araujo in the right centre-back position. Went shoulder to shoulder with him. Ronaldo went down. Didn't look a penalty to me, I've got to be honest. But Ronaldo steps up now and Ronaldo converts it as he always does. Juventus lead in the Camp Nou by 1-0. But I tell you what, Nigel, Barcelona will be very disappointed at that penalty award.
Yeah, they're not the only ones. I'm very disappointed about the penalty award. I mean, Messi. The amount of times that it happens in this football, that when Ronaldo has a good night, Messi has a good night the following night. So I wouldn't expect to see a little bit of magic from Messi now. He's like he gets pumped up when Ronaldo scores. But I mean, that's never a penalty, is it? I mean, that is absolutely never a penalty. We're not getting any luck, really, to be honest with you. We've had penalties. We had a game at the weekend where a team were down to 10 men and they let a goal in the 90th minute. Team tonight, opposition down to 10 men, and it's just one of those things, isn't it? You just got to ride it. I'm quite subdued at the moment. I'm a bit down in the dumps after all these sort of results and stuff. So nothing surprises me. But you just got to ride the waves and get to the other side. We'll be all right.
I know that you went with the under 3.5 in the game between Barca and Juve, and yes, obviously the goal is not a good thing. But given the way Barca are playing, I wouldn't back them here to turn this game around. So, they're currently 9th in La Liga. They've won just 2 of their last 5 games. This is by no means the Barcelona we've been used to over the last decade or so.
Well, you might want to back Juventus in at -120. That's what price you can get Juventus to win the game, in Barcelona at plus 350. I still think a lot of the guys want to be on the draw. I think the draw at 3-1 now potentially could be a decent bet. There's been another goal at Leipzig.
In Leipzig, and it's gone to the hosts. RB Leipzig coming forward again. It fell to Sabitzer around about 20 yards from the edge of the box. Played it to Angelino. Left-footed delivery. Turned in at the far post. RB Leipzig through Haidara are leading Manchester United now by 2-0. This could be a horrible night for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And I've got to be honest, as an Arsenal fan, I'm enjoying this.
Well, to be fair with you, they've got Man City the weekend as well, and that's got to be the end of it. I think they're bowing out of the Champions League, but you've got to think they beat Leipzig at home. They beat Paris Saint-Germain. It was the game in Turkey that done them. Losing that game in Turkey was the killer for them, and they beat Leipzig by 5 goals. I mean, if they go 2-0 down, obviously the over 3.5 is looking brilliant. Man United have just got to throw everything at them, and Leipzig are the best counter attackers in German football, I think. But up there with Bayern Munich and Dortmund. I mean, they score goals for fun, and if you go all out attacking Leipzig, you're going to concede, and this could be anything now. Man United to win this game are 14-1 to come back and win this game. I would have backed that with your money, Harry. 7-1 the draw, -$6 on Leipzig. Leipzig are going to win this game, I believe. And when we spoke, Harry, on Saturday night, Leipzig were the underdogs to this game. Manchester United were the favourites to this game. On Monday morning, when I was doing the preview, Leipzig have become favourites. And if it was the other way around, or if it was a pick and match, I would have bet Leipzig definitely, because I said to you, didn't I, on the betcast, how can Leipzig be the underdogs for this game? But the money come for them in that 48-hour period that prevented me from actually putting them up as a bet. But you know, they're 2-0 up, and they're just they're men against boys at the moment. And Solskjaer's under big pressure.
They're 2-0 up and they're flying. Do you know what? I think I'm going to have a little bet on that 7-1 draw. Not because I think it will happen, not because I want it to happen, but just because I've grown up
How
watching
much do you want?
United.
How much do you want?
Stick a 20. Let's stick a 20 on it.
Yeah, you got out with me, Harry. You got out with me. You got out with me. Stick it on the invoice. You got 20 quid, 7-1 draw. There's no way they're getting a draw out of this. They're bloody useless.
Yeah, they are, but it adds a little bit of a spice to the game, doesn't it?
Do you know what I mean? If you had £20 on this match to be a draw at 7-1, it would mean you lost £20. That's how much you get back. What's happening here?
There's an incident going on, a sending off for one of the Bashak Shahir members of staff, by the looks of it. They've been a little bit prickly early on in this game. There's been a couple of incidents. They've had a couple of yellow cards. We've seen one of their members of staff confronting. It's Demba Ba. I think it's Demba Ba, former Premier League player. He's all hooded up, Demba Ba, but he is giving the referee plenty. He's giving him an earful. He's been told to move away. And eventually, I think the referee's gotten fed up and just pulled out the card.
Yeah, I'm looking at a couple of the other stats in some of the other games and seeing if there's any really. Seville offering absolutely nothing against Rennes in a game that means nothing to them. Rennes are very, very poor, very low scoring. Seville haven't had the shot on target, so it's really about how much Seville will be taking into this game. And it looks as though both of them are doing absolutely nothing in that game. So the goals in that game might be pitched quite high. Under 2.5 goals is -$2. I'm going to back under 2.5 goals. Seville 1-0 at the weekend, loss against Real Madrid, beaten by Chelsea, very one-sided. I think under 2.5 goals here at -$2 in that game is a bet as well. So under 2.5 in Seville against Rennes looks like a nice one for those. When absolutely nothing happening in that game whatsoever.
That's right. Just seeing more pictures from the RB Leipzig Manchester United game. Leipzig continuing to come forward, really putting United under pressure. Oh, what a chance that is. What a golden opportunity that was for RB Leipzig to make it 3-0. Could that be the turning point in this game? Maybe.
No. Absolutely no. Clinging at straws there, Harry. Trying to thinking of your of the potential to do your thinking of your bet there, but no, not at all.
There's been a foul on Haidara, the scorer of RB Leipzig's second goal. So it's not the greatest challenge from Mason Greenwood. I don't think he's going to be punished for it. And, maybe it was a yellow, nothing more than that. But we're just seeing Julian Nagelsmann there in your pictures. Young coach, such a talented coach. You can only think that it's just a matter of time before he's going to end up at Bayern Munich, Nigel.
Or Arsenal.
Well, I hope so. I'd love it. Absolutely.
Or Man United. Or Man United.
Yeah, or Man United. Let's have a look at what some of you guys are saying in the live chat. If you've got any questions, guys, feel free to chuck them in. We'd love to interact with you guys during the broadcast. James says, given Nigel's form, I'm unloading on the draw now. Count your winnings, Harry. No, I'm not the betting man. Don't listen to me. I don't want to be responsible for anyone's losses. Joe says, what a choke job by United. I believe it's called Bottlers over there, eh? Yep, that's absolutely right. There's been a goal in the game between Barcelona and Juventus. We're just having a look at it now. Aaron Ramsey carrying the ball forward towards the Barca penalty area, squares it to Cuadrado, goes one more to the right, dinked into the penalty area. Oh, that's a wonderful finish. That is
really good finish. Terrible defending by Barcelona, wasn't it? Though? Really, I mean, they've just absolutely. There's going to be a rebase in this Champions League now, aren't they? Barcelona just nowhere near the quality of the side they are. They're they're being put to the sword. It's a big goal for Juventus. Obviously, Juventus will go through as group winners now. And I mean, what a terrible goal that was. Terrible defending.
Weston McKennie, the goal scorer. We were just talking about the Bundesliga. He's come from the Bundesliga. Weston McKennie, former Schalke man, joined Juve in the summer. Did really, really well to link up with Quadrado. Their lovely dink back into the box. It's a free volley from the edge of the 6-yard box. We spoke about Barcelona's poor form. They're 9th in La Liga at the moment. They're not the team they were. But I don't think I expected Juve to go to the Camp Nou and boss them this way. I've got to be honest.
Well, there's more chance of a comeback in this one than there is in the Man United game for me. If you're looking for a comeback, I don't think even will come back, but if you are looking for a comeback, Barcelona will be much more likely. And that's reflected in the odds. Barcelona 9-1 to win this game now, 6-1 the draw, and 1-4, -$4 on Juventus. They were -120 just before that. And Manchester United are 16-1 to come back with Leipzig at -$6. But I think if you're looking for a comeback, obviously the odds reflect that. But you would say that there's much more of a chance coming back from the game in the Camp Nou than the game in Leipzig.
Just looking at what you guys are saying in the chat, Paul says in the PSG game the manager's been sent off. The Istanbul manager, he says, has been sent off. Brian says it seems to be a racial incident in the PSG game, very ugly. We've not seen it yet because we're watching the BT Sport Goal show here in the UK where they jump between all the games. So we saw a red card being brandished, but we wasn't able to make out what exactly had happened. I'm going to have a quick look into it now to try and
all the betting in that game is completely suspended. So there's no odds available on anything in that match. They've taken everything off the board. So I don't know if an incident's still happening or something like that. But usually, obviously, if something like that has happened, it would obviously make the game a much more fiery encounter, which would mean that the bookings would be the way to look at. And there's already been two bookings in the game in the first 20 minutes. So something has clearly happened. I'm flicking through the channels here trying to find out what...
I'll tell you what I've got here. So Get French Football News, one of the big French media outlets, they're saying that the fourth official is being accused of racism by both sets of players. And they're saying they've never seen anything like this. Just while we're speaking as well, Barcelona just quickly reminding us that they do have an attacking threat. They've threatened the Juve goal on a couple of occasions since Juve added their second goal. We've gone back to the game now between PSG and Istanbul as we're trying to work out exactly what has happened here. The Başakşehir players have come off of the pitch.
Yeah, all the betting is completely suspended. They're refusing to come on. We're going to see what's going to happen here.
The man that was sent off for Istanbul Başakşehir, one of the coaches, Pierre Webo, if you remember your World Cup football, he's a former Cameroonian. You probably remember him. He's one of the coaches, the assistant coach at Istanbul Başakşehir. He's been sent off by the fourth official and says that the fourth official racially abused him. It looks like the PSG players have heard it and they're on board with it because they're also walking off of the pitch. This is incredible. I've never seen anything like this.
Well, Man United would hope they stay off the pitch because they might have a chance of going through if the game gets voided. I mean, I'm joking aside. There's no need for anything like this in this day and age, and we'll see what's going to come out of it. But hopefully, it's something that they may not have misunderstood or something like that. But we will hopefully talk about the football and the betting rather than any incident like this. But there's no games whatsoever, and both teams are off the pitch. So we'll have to see what's going to happen.
Unbelievable scenes. Both teams have walked off the pitch. We're now seeing a free kick for Manchester United. Bruno Fernandes hits it straight into the wall, then dinks it into the penalty area. Harry Maguire was coming in at the far post, but it was put out for a corner. Good defending in the end from Konate, the Leipzig centre-back. United have a corner, but that's incredible. Both teams have walked off the pitch in the game between PSG and Istanbul Başakşehir. So we'll wait to see what happens in that one. I mean, with regards to Nigel, with the group ending, obviously, qualification is dependent on both games. So obviously they couldn't do anything about it. And the situation is a serious one. So they've gone off and stuff. But I mean, now the games are not being played at the same time, which some people would say is not fair.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, there's nothing you can do about things like that, can you? Obviously, you
Yeah.
know, if they've taken offence to something that's happened, then they're all right, and you know, and that's what the players are being urged to do nowadays. They're being urged to stand their ground and do what's right. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens.
Chelsea have gone a goal down to Krasnodar at Stamford Bridge. We're just seeing the goal now. Lovely finish from just inside the penalty area into the bottom corner. Chelsea trail at home to Krasnodar.
Yeah, Chelsea were minus 250 to win that match before the goal. You know, the lines are coming up now, and Chelsea are going to be around about plus 120 to win the match. I'm not quite sure. I mean, the thing is with Chelsea, as we saw with a lot of these games, these matches are won by players on the bench, how strong your bench is. And I'm going to look at the Chelsea bench because they can make 3 or 4 changes and it'll be a completely different side in the second half. And I've seen Krasnodar this season go up against Seville, and this, you know, that Seville had 10 players as well, but they never held on to the lead, and they've hustled and bustled, but have never seen the game through. So you would still probably expect Chelsea to come through. But yeah, they've got Giroud on the bench, they've got Chilwell, they've got Mason Mount, they've got Pulisic, they've got Werner, they've got Zuma. You know, they could bring on 3 of those and change this game massively around. And they're plus 120. I mean, if you want to, you know, there's fans at Chelsea now as well, obviously, and they'll get behind the team. And I think at plus 120, I still think Chelsea will win this game.
Yeah, I wouldn't bet against them. Just 25 minutes on the clock in that one, plenty of time to go.
They went 1-0 down against Sheffield United and come back and won 4-1 in the second half. They've gone 1-0 down. They've got the players on the bench to go around. Honestly, take a bit of that plus 120. I'm going to bet Chelsea at plus 120 just for 3 units or so.
They went a goal down against Leeds as well at the weekend, and
they've done it. They've done it a few times, and they've got the players on the bench to back Chelsea.
They've just got themselves a penalty straight away. There you go.
Perfect.
You got it just in time.
Yeah, I mean that was a big price, 120. I have actually just got on that, so that's yeah. I mean that was a big price.
Tammy Abraham, who's gone down under the challenge. Lovely ball from Kovacic. Good turn from Tammy Abraham. Just sells the defender the dummy. The defender catches him inside the box. It is a penalty to Chelsea and an opportunity for them to level things up. We're just seeing an opportunity whilst we wait for Jorginho to take the penalty in the game between Rennes and Sevilla. Rennes, it looks like ever so close. Really good save from the goalkeeper from close range. So Rennes look as though they're the stronger attacking force in that one.
Yeah, Seville have offered absolutely nothing at all in that game. They have nothing to play for. They're the side through, and they have done nothing in that match whatsoever. If you look at the stats of the game, nothing at all.
Jorginho stepping up to take the penalty for Chelsea. Opportunity to level things at Stamford Bridge. Jorginho with his little stutter run up, and he's put it into the bottom right-hand corner. It's Chelsea 1, Krasnodar 1 at Stamford Bridge.
Yeah, you're not going to get plus 120 now for Chelsea to win this game. They're now minus $2, and I think even minus $2 they're a bet. Yeah. I really do. I think if you want to bet, if you like your minus $2, back Chelsea, because they will. Werner will come on, Pulisic will come on, possibly Mount will come on, and if they go 2-1 up, then they'll put some kids on. But if they're chasing a winner, they still want to win. They still want to end the season in front of fans and go for it. I think Chelsea at -2 even now is a decent bet.
They take on Everton at the weekend as well. Chelsea, difficult game that, so they'll probably, if they get into a winning position, I'm sure they'll have one eye on that one as well.
Yeah, what game we're doing, Harry, aren't we? We're doing that game.
No, we're doing the Manchester Derby.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I thought we're doing Everton the following week. I was looking at the fixture. We're doing Everton the following week.
We're doing Everton Arsenal the following week. Great.
That's it. I knew it was Chelsea. Even Chelsea, I think Chelsea at -$2 are a bet. I do, or even Chelsea -1 at a big price. Chelsea will score 3 against this lot. Trust me.
Yeah,
it's Gilmore. He's the boy. He's the boy. This Billy Gilmore. Trust me. He's a brilliant player. real quality. Hopefully he scores and we were right. But Chelsea got a corner now. Rennes Seville 0-0. Paris Saint-Germain. Obviously, we don't know what's going to happen there. If for example, if Paris Saint-Germain is abandoned, we will award it with 2.5 goals, Harry, or we'll award the game with 2 goals, Harry. We can't go 2.5, but we'll award the game with 2 goals if it's abandoned. All right, for the competition.
Yep, makes sense. There's been a goal in the game between Rennes and Sevilla. We were just talking about Sevilla not offering nothing, and they haven't offered nothing up until this point. But it looks as though Sevilla, wonderful goal. They're in front.
That was a fluke, though. That was a fluke. That was an absolute fluke. I think he just hit and hoped that, and he's caught it on the outside of the foot. It's gone flying in the top corner. He don't really know where that's going. That is an absolute fluke. But I tell you what, the scoreline and the news stories coming out of Germany. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer now.
There's been another goal in the game between RB Leipzig and Manchester United. We're just waiting for our pictures to flick over to that one. Just seeing a replay of that Sevilla goal. Koundé just swung a left boot at it, didn't he? Didn't even make clean contact with it. It's just looped over the goalkeeper.
The goal has gone to Leipzig. They're 3-0 up now, which is absolutely unbelievable. Now, obviously, there's a lot of people watching this in America, but we bet over here on the next manager to lose his job. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer currently in the UK now is $4.50 to be the next Premier League manager to lose his job. He's 3-0 down in the half-hour mark in the biggest game of the season with Man City to play next week. I don't think he'll be in the job by Christmas. I think if they lose this in the scoreline that they're going to lose, and he's getting tactically outwitted by Nagelsmann here, and it's been disallowed to go anyway. But even so, you know, they're dominating, and Solskjaer is plus $4.50 to lose his job next. There's no other manager. I mean, Chris Wilder from Sheffield United is a manager under pressure. Slaven Bilic is under pressure. But those two sides expected them to finish it towards the bottom of the season. Survival was that's all they wanted to do. But I think Solskjaer's got to, his time's running out, surely.
Yeah, and he's very lucky that they've not gone 3 goals down there. It was offside, having seen the replay. It was the correct call. No doubt about that. But a bit of a let-off for Manchester United. And, you know, can they find a way back into this game? We're just seeing it was the initial header from Konate that came off of the crossbar. And then it was another RB Leipzig player following in on the rebound. The player that followed it in, the player that put it in the back of the net in the end, was the one who strayed offside in that. Just having a look at who it was. It was Willy Orban that followed that in. Centre back, of course. Both Leipzig centre backs there, Nigel, in the box, trying to make things happen. It just shows you how attack minded they've been in the early stages of this one.
Oh yeah, well, anyone who watched the Man United game at a weekend against West Ham, you just know their defence is about as much use as a chocolate fireguard. So you've got to go at them, and you've got to go but they offer an attacking threat as well. But they've got the tactics absolutely spot on here, haven't they? Absolutely spot on. I mean, they've been brilliant with what we've seen. Chelsea should have just gone 2-1 up. That man Gilmour again put it through. He's been knocked cold to Gilmour, I think. He's a marked man. He's put the roof through, and Abraham should have really scored. It should have been 2-1.
Just some details emerging from the incident in the game between Paris Saint-Germain and Istanbul Başakşehir. So according to Fabrizio Romano, who is anyone that follows the transfer news will know that Fabrizio Romano gets everything right. That's what he does. He's the inside man. And what he's said has happened is that when the fourth official was indicating to the referee which one of his staff should be shown a card, he said it's the black guy. And the Istanbul bench took offense to that and are saying, why did you have to refer to him like that? And that's where the incident has escalated from. So that's what Fabrizio Romano is saying. I don't know for sure. I'm just
I'm not going to get into any debate about this, but I mean, has the world gone a little bit mad? I mean, if my son is 15 years of age. He's got two friends, and he says to me, they're both called John. And I said to him, which John's that? And if he said, which one's you? And if he said, the black John, is that really that bad? I mean,
no, it's not. It depends. We're just reading what Romano's saying, but it depends how it was said. I guess it depends what terminology exactly was used.
my wife's called Paula, and there's a big Paula and a little Paula. We call a big Paula, and fat Jimmy and little Jimmy. I mean, really, come on. I mean, he hasn't. I mean, really. I mean, I absolutely. If there's something terribly wrong or something was said, and it's terrible. I think it's awful. But I just think, if someone says, "Oh, which one's that?" I don't know. I just don't think does that warrant everyone to walk off? If he said something direct in that and was really, really rude, I think that would. But I mean, that's my opinion. I mean, I don't really see huge amount of issues with it, but we'll have to wait and see what the story develops. It could be a lot worse than that. But I think we are, obviously that it's a subject that people walk off if someone says anything or does anything. We've seen it in English football as well. We've seen 3 games already where someone said, but that was players being racially abusive to an opponent. But I think if you, I don't know, I just find it crazy.
Yeah, and it's important to note that we don't really know what's happened as well, isn't it? So,
I mean,
if it is as simple as that, then it probably isn't that big of an issue. But like we said, we don't know the details. We haven't seen it. We don't know with which tone it was said. So we've got to be. It's one of those things.
I had a very good-looking guy, a friend of mine called Nigel, and everyone said, "Oh, which one is it? Good-looking Nigel or ugly Nigel?" And I was called ugly Nigel all my life. It never really bothered me. But there you go. It's one of the things, isn't it?
Let's see what you guys are saying in the live chat. Brennan Flanagan says, Nigel, any thoughts on the USA 100-1 for the World Cup in 2022?
Yeah, right. Women's World Cup, you've got half a chance. For the men's World Cup, no. It's a lot better. You can. Listen, you need to invest wisely into stuff, and that's not a wise investment, I'm afraid.
Yeah, no,
the World Cup after, when you're hosting it, you I'd rather bet you on your home soil at probably half the odds than you are to go in 2022. But no, not for me. Leave it to the ladies.
Yeah, agreed. Let's see what else you guys are saying in the live chat. Don't forget, get your questions in throughout the broadcast. We'll answer them. Well, Nigel will answer them because I'm no good. But yeah, I'll put them to Nigel. So let's quickly run around the grounds, get the scores. The game, of course, between PSG and Istanbul Başakşehir is currently suspended after that incident. It's Dynamo Kiev 0, Ferencvaros 0 in the Europa League derby. Of course, it's interesting in that one because Ferencvaros' manager, Sergei Rebrov, you'll remember him for his time in the Premier League. He's a Dynamo Kiev legend, and he's managing against them. Rennes are currently losing to Sevilla by a 0-0. In that one, Barcelona 0, Juventus 2, Chelsea 1, Krasnodar 1, RB Leipzig 2, Manchester United 0. But Manchester United have just spurned an opportunity to perhaps get themselves back in the game. They've got a corner, though, which we're watching now.
Yeah, that Dynamo Kiev game, Harry, there's been one shot in the whole game on target. It's really fizzing out. It's a dire game. I wouldn't be surprised to see, like you say, the Rebrov connection that could just fizzle out to an absolute non-entity. Like really, the 0-0 detective's getting quite excited about that one. If you look at the total goals in that game now, we are looking at under 1.5, around about minus 120. One goal will win that game. So I'm going to bet minus 1.5 goals in the Dynamo Kiev Ferencvaros game, given Rebrov's connection, given the fact that both sides are sort of going through the motions and the stats are really, really, really uninspiring. One shot on target, 3 corners. I'm going to bet minus 120 under 1.5 goals. It's gone minus 125, but I'm happy to take under 1.5 goals in that game. According
to what I'm reading, the game between PSG and Istanbul has been suspended properly now. Well, that's what I'm reading in front of me. Wait for one of the official channels to confirm that. Yeah, BBC Sport are saying that Istanbul Başakşehir alleged the fourth official used a racist word. Well, that's completely different to the story that we read.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's
Yeah.
my point. That's my point. I mean, you know, if he called him a racial word, that's totally out of order. That's wrong.
Yeah.
But you know, that is totally wrong. But I think if what the original thought you've seen, I don't think that's enough for 22 players to walk off the game.
Agreed.
So that was all my point. I just don't think that's right. But if someone's being abusive and being offensive and racially offensive, then they have every right to walk off the pitch. But just say, which person was that? I remember a game here. Do you remember the game here where the referee asked a player who had been booked? I can't remember what game it was. I think it might have been an Arsenal game where they put the wrong player.
Chelsea. Yeah, and he sent
off. Do you remember?
He sent off Kieran Gibbs instead of Oxlade-Chamberlain. Yeah.
And they asked him who done the tackle, and I think someone said, "Oh, it was the whatever player," and he got the wrong player over him and sent him off. But you know, that's the under game I've gone for is the Ferencvaros against Dynamo Kiev in the latest play. So really, what we've got the bets in player over 3.5 goals Leipzig against Manchester United, under 3.5 goals Barcelona Juventus, Chelsea to win the match at 6-5, 120, and I've gone in at -2 as well. Under 2.5 goals in Rennes v Seville, and under 1.5 goals in Dynamo Kiev v Ferencvaros. And obviously so we've got positions in all the games that are in play, and obviously we can't have a position in the game that's gone off. And for the competition, we're going to put two goals for the competition in that one. So whatever that is, if that doesn't play, it'll be 2 goals.
Yep. Eric is asking what game was the under 1.5. That's the Dynamo Kiev.
Yeah.
That's right. Just keeping you up to date. Paul is asking if that was a handball in the game between Manchester United and RB Leipzig. You know what, mate? It could have been. It could have been. The RB Leipzig defender down on the ground in the end. It certainly struck his arm. I don't know if you could give that as a penalty though. But you know, nowadays you never know because it is. It feels like they're giving penalties out like sweets. So I wouldn't be too surprised I wouldn't have been too surprised had I seen the referee point to the spot there. Michael Sinclair says, can the plays be summarised at half time, please? Yeah, sure. No problem. Not long to go before we get to half time. Just seeing pictures of a Manchester United free kick. We're live there now as Bruno Fernandes looks to deliver it in from the right-hand side. All the big boys are up for Manchester United. Towards the back post, McTominay heads it back into the mix. It's headed clear only as far as Wan-Bissaka. He wants a handball. Man United want a handball. They're not going to get it. They'll continue this attack. Fernandes looks to put it in the box from the right. Matic underneath it, hooked away.
Harry, you know, you joke about my famous friends and my football contacts. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm going to say a story about Wan-Bissaka.
I knew how long have we gone? We haven't even gone an hour yet, and we got.
I'll tell you a story about Wan-Bissaka. It's a true story.
Go on.
My brother's a Crystal Palace fan, and my brother's quite high. He knows a lot of people at the club, and we got invited to the Crystal Palace Christmas party by the supporters Christmas party, and went to the Crystal Palace end of season party as well, where they give the Player of the Year award. And we knew that Aaron Wan-Bissaka was going to be named the Player of the Year. So they told us. So we went to the club shop, and bought 5 shirts, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, put them on the back, and we knew we were going to get them signed. And because it was the last day of the season, the shirts were like 10 quid because they were getting rid of the sales. The new shirts, they were getting rid of the shirts. So we got them. And Aaron Wan-Bissaka got his shirt. So we went up to him and said to him, could he sign the shirt with his pen? And his signature, honestly, was like, I don't know if you see that. It was just like a little line like that. It was just like that. It was just one line like that. That's all it was. You wouldn't know it was Wan-Bissaka or anything. So I said to all these guys, listen, I'm going to get you a signed Wan-Bissaka Crystal Palace shirt. Do you want them for 50 quid? Like to make some, I'll get the shirt. And I was getting a shirt for a tenner. So I had like 4 shirts signed. When I got them like that, nobody accepted that was his signature. I don't know if you can Google it, but if you can see people's signature. It was literally just one line that went like that. It was anyone could have done it. So what I thought was, one might buy more of them and just pretend to be Van Bissaka and just put the lines up and sell them. But it was the worst signature I've ever seen him. I come home and I said, "Look at this." It was absolutely ridiculous. But he was a good friend of mine, Van Bissaka as well. As you, a good friend. And his mum lives 5 minutes from me.
I think he let you down. I'm just looking at his signature now. Unless he's changed it since he's gone to Man United. Unless it's improved.
It went like that. It was like that. It was like the worst signature you've ever seen.
Here you go. You can see it here. Look. Where is it?
He never signed it like that. He never signed. Well, it's not. You. I tell you what, though. If you look at the other signatures, he never signed it like that. It was just literally a line. I get my missus up here, Paul, and I ask her. Say, remember that T-shirt? Honestly, you wouldn't. It was nobody would accept it. It was him. They said that anyone could do that. I said, it's Van Bissaka. He said, no, it's not. They're not having it. But true story.
Good stuff. I love those stories. I really do. I'm only joking. Barcelona game with Juventus. There's a potential there's a VAR check going on for a potential penalty. There's been another goal in the game between Rennes and Sevilla, and it's gone Sevilla's way. We spoke about them not doing a great deal in the early stages of this one, but they've taken control of this game now.
Harry, I will have a look at there's a little barge. I don't know if it was a Seville player who got barged. See, there was a little barge on that game. I don't know who it was, but I'm not sure whether that would. Oh, it might be the Seville player that got barged out of the way, but someone got barged in that game. It might be a VAR in that goal.
It was En-Nesyri with the goal. We'll have a look. We're just looking at the replay now.
I reckon if you go back in that goal, the Rennes player got absolutely barged off the ball.
Yeah, there. Just seen it.
And I'm not sure whether they'll give that, but they should check because that was a foul.
It's completely blocked him off, hasn't he?
Yeah. Good goal, though. Good header. Great cross.
Yeah, really, really good header. Certainly looked like there might have been something in that with regards to a foul against the Sevilla men. It's half time there. It's half time in the game between.
And that was the last kick of the game. The last kick of the first half.
Was indeed half time in the game between Barca and Juve. Still playing in the game between RB Leipzig, Chelsea, Krasnodar. And, of course, the game between PSG and Istanbul has been suspended. We're just seeing a replay of that penalty check that occurred in the Barcelona game. Messi went down under a challenge from McKennie. Don't look like there's enough in that for me for it to be a penalty, but it's half-time there. We're deep in stoppage time in the first half of RB Leipzig and Manchester United. Nigel, do you want to just summarise up the plays for those that want to summarise?
Yeah, sure. We've done... over 3.5 goals, Leipzig v Manchester United, which was -150. Under 3.5 goals, Barcelona, Juventus, which was -162. Under 2.5 goals, Rennes against Seville. Chelsea to win the match against Krasnodar with the players they have on the bench, which was 120. And I also suggested if you missed the 120 to play them at -2. And under 1.5 goals in Dynamo Kiev against Ferencvaros, which was -125. So some looking good, but hopefully the second half will go our way.
It's half time in the game.
Harry, how many goals were?
Let's have a look. We've got none in that one, 2 in that one. We're going to chuck 2 in the PSG game. So 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 at the moment. If we're adding the 2 in for the PSG game, so we're on 10 as it stands. Half time now in all the games in the UEFA Champions League this evening. We're going to take a short break and we're going to be back in around about 10 minutes or so. So stay with us, don't go anywhere, and we'll be back very soon. Cheers. Welcome back to the Premier Sports Plays UEFA Champions League in play betting show. We're back underway in the games between Dynamo Kiev and Ferencvaros and the game between Rennes and Sevilla. We think that the game between PSG and Istanbul Başakşehir is going to resume, but we've not had kind of official confirmation on that. We think that's going to be the case. We think they're going to carry on with the game, but of course we'll keep you updated on that as we find out. Nigel, we've got a few bets going on at the minute. We've got the Barca one Barca Juve under 3.5 goals, over 3.5 goals in the game between RB Leipzig and Man United. We've got the Chelsea win against Krasnodar. Of course, it's 1-1 there at the moment. Those games are not quite back underway yet. So we're waiting for that one. And we've got the under 1.5 in the game between Kiev and Ferencvaros. How are you feeling going into the second half?
Well, it's up in the air, isn't it? It's going to be 50-50. We also said there was a slight under in the UK domestic on the Stoke Cardiff as well. That was under 2.5, and it's under 1. It's 1-0 at the moment. It could be a good night without actually having any matches and any official plays in the UK tonight. It could be a good night in the Championship for us for our long-term positions, our futures. Stoke are winning, which has moved them up to second in the table. Norwich are third. They have a game in hand tomorrow. If they win, they'll go top. So we could have the first and second in the Championship. And our bet to finish bottom was Sheffield Wednesday. And they're getting beat. And there's a little gap now developing between the bottom 5 or 6 in the Championship and outside of Sheffield Wednesday at the foot of the table. So, you know, I know it's been a real bad season on the domestic front. And, I'm not glossing over that. I mean, it has been dreadful. But there is some light at the end of the tunnel. And now futures, if you were with me at the start of the season, our futures, especially in the Championship and the Premier League, are looking quite good. We've bet Sheffield United to be relegated. They got 1 point. We bet Fulham to be relegated. We've bet Aubameyang to be the top goal scorer. Forget about that. Arsenal always let you down. We've bet Leeds to finish above Sheffield United. So there's some very, very good positions on our pre-season futures, which should give me some optimism. And the Championship tonight, without any official plays, is looking quite good. So yeah, we've also got Stoke under 2.5, and hopefully Stoke win 1-0. That's brilliant. And if we can get a goal, if Swansea can beat Bournemouth, that's good because Bournemouth are up the top of the table alongside Stoke and Norwich. So yeah, we're not giving up to hope just yet. We're looking quite good in our future positions as well. So that's good.
Good stuff. Just to give you guys an update, RB Leipzig, Man United back underway. Chelsea, Krasnodar back underway. The game between PSG and Istanbul is still suspended. We're waiting to find out what's going to happen with that one. There was a racist incident that took place on the touchline. The initial reports said one thing. Some next reports have said something else. So we don't actually know for certain what's gone on there, but I'm sure the details will emerge in the coming days. So keep your eyes on that one if you're interested to find out what's going on. Brian Silverstein says, what am I going to do on my Tuesdays and Wednesdays without CL group play? I guess it's back to work. I guess it is, mate.
I'm going to bed early. I need some sleep. Look at these eyes. I'm tired. That stress of the last weekend. Absolutely. Last weekend was terrible, absolutely terrible. I did the podcast, the betcast with you, Harry, straight after Saturday's afternoon. I wasn't myself, was I, mate?
No, at the beginning, you wasn't, but then you got back into it. I think you was a broken man on Saturday, Nigel.
No, I was actually. I was. Yeah, but it was hard to take. I mean, it was a very, very, very difficult day. And you have difficult days, and doing this is a long time. You have difficult days. You have brilliant days as well. You treat the two of them the same. Premier League games go through most of December. Matthew saying this, we should do a Premier League in-play show. Harry, I need a break. This season, this COVID is absolutely. We didn't have a break. We went from one season to another. The tennis was going on. I'm exhausted. I need a little bit of I need a holiday. That's what I need.
Yeah,
I need a holiday.
Don't we all, mate? Don't we all? Eric says, let's start a GoFundMe to cover Harry's 20 quid.
I know he'll be all right. When you see his
It's all
invoice,
right.
when you see Harry, when you see Harry's invoice, you know he'll be all right. Don't worry
It's
about
all
that.
right. I'll be all
He doesn't need no funding. He don't do this for charity that way. He don't do this for charity.
What else have we got here? Let's see what else you guys are saying. A couple of people calling for Richard to be giving the total goals shouts. Richard from the podcast.
Richard, listen, by 9:10, Richard is either comatose or he's in a back of an ambulance. He would not. If I said Richard, you wouldn't. I'm difficult to understand with my accent. Richard, 10 pints in, you got no chance. Listen, just an interesting fact here. Juventus. I said Juventus might be top of the group, but they have to win 4-0 to go top of the group against Barcelona, and they're 2-0 up now. There could be a potential penalty here, which could make it. It's going to be a penalty.
It's got to be,
and it's going to be 3-0. It's going to be 3-0. I think they're going to take a penalty. Ronaldo will take another penalty. So I think it's a penalty. So that's going to be a, if they win 4-0, they can overturn Barcelona. No one even took that into consideration, thinking they're going to win it. But I'd say that's definitely a penalty.
It's got to be. It's got to be. The referee has pointed to the spot. It is going to be a penalty, and we'd assume that Cristiano Ronaldo is going to have an opportunity to put further distance between Juventus and Barcelona. It was Clement Lenglet with the handball. Referee not hesitating. He saw it straight away as soon as he watched the replay, and he picked it up.
He saw it straight away as soon as he
He saw it straight away.
As soon as he watched the replay, rewind it 3 times, asked the bloke in his ear, is that a penalty? And good referee.
Well, it took us one view, didn't it, on the replay? Ronald Koeman getting involved in a spat with the Juventus substitutes. I mean, that just tells you all you need to know about how it's going for Barcelona at the moment. Cristiano Ronaldo about to step up his second penalty of the game. Will he go the same way down the middle like he did for the first one? No, he won't. He goes into the bottom left-hand corner. No mistake from Ronaldo. And Juventus lead by 3-0. That would be sweet for a former Real Madrid man. Another brace in the Camp Nou for Cristiano Ronaldo.
The body language of Barcelona is shocking, though, isn't it? I mean, the message is standing there like that. It's absolutely terrible. I mean, it was a pen, though. I don't know what they're moaning about. It was a penalty. So that's put our under 3.5 under a bit of pressure. But like I say, if Juventus win 4-0, they top the group. And that's. But the thing is, I don't think people really are bothered about playing Barcelona. If Barcelona are second, and you've won the group, Barcelona aren't a threat anymore. I don't believe.
No, they're not. They're not as an overall team. It's just that Messi factor in it. If he decides to turn up, he can. I still think he can beat anyone. But you speak about the body language. Messi, one of them, doesn't look up for it, and he made no secret of the fact he wanted to leave during the summer as well. So all is.
It's a bad goal. I think it's a bad goal. Stoke, Cardiff have looked like they've equalised against Stoke. They have 67-minute mark. Stoke. That's not their Stoke's. Sort of our top tips for that division. They were sitting in second place in the table there, and that goal's dropped them all the way down to 6th. Shows you how close it is in the championship. But Stoke have equalised. Cardiff equalised at Stoke for 1-1 in that game.
Cool. What have we got here? Eric Goldman says that under 3.5 is in trouble between Barca and Juve. Yes, but we're kind of banking on Juve, maybe just trying to sit on it now. You never know, but obviously still plenty of time to go. So you're not wrong.
I like the 0-0 in the Dynamo Kiev Ferencvaros game. I quite like that now. I think that's got a chance at.
What are we looking at odds-wise? 170
plus 170. I like that as a draw. I mean, like you say, Ferencvaros managed by a former legend at Dynamo Kiev. Nothing to play for. I like that, and that was the nature of these games with not much really to play for. Do they go all out attack, or do they, they could end 0-0, or they could end 3-3? And that was. I just thought the Barcelona Juventus game. I called it pre-match really. I just thought that the Barcelona Juventus game was a little bit too. too high at 3.5. I thought the market should have been 2.5 goals, and it isn't. It's 3.5 goals, and I just thought it was a little bit too high. But we could be proved to wrong, or we could get right. But the one thing I would say is that Barcelona aren't the attacking forces what they were, and if there is another goal, it's going to come from Juventus. So it's going to be a very interesting. Man United are really, really pushing for it. Everyone's worried about you, Harry, about how you're going to get this 20 quid you're going to lose on the draw.
Yeah.
You know what, though? You were 7-1 all that time ago. They're still only 8-1. Man United are 22-1 to score 3 goals. They did it. They come back against Southampton 2 weeks ago. They were 2-0 down. They come back against West Ham and they won. But this side are a different level to those two. I mean, 22-1. No, it's more chance for Leipzig. The only problem for our goals is that we need Man United really to score the goal. Because I think the more it goes on, Leipzig will be happy to have a 2-goal lead in the cushion. Yeah. And might come up to. We want Man United. If Man United score in the next 10 minutes, then we've got an unbelievable last 25 minutes where attack, goals, everything's going to go all out the window. So that's going to be really interesting. So for over 3.5 goals, we want a goal there.
And then my hopes of having dinner tomorrow, or being able to afford dinner tomorrow, will be better.
Listen, I've always told you, listen, don't worry about dinner. You're always welcome around mine. You're always welcome around mine. We need someone to. I've seen your barbecues, your secret barbecues. They're absolutely unbelievable.
That's it. I got to show you. I got to get you over for one.
Yeah, I will. I've seen them. They're absolutely amazing. I'll be there straight away.
There's been a goal. There's been a goal in the game between Dynamo Kiev and Ferencvaros.
Yeah, that's all right. We haven't had the 0-0. We've still got the one under 1.5. But it's gone to the home side. Dynamo Kiev have gone 1-0 up. That must have been one of the only attacks. So we've only got we haven't played the 0-0 yet. We've only played the under 1.5. So that's all right. We can handle that one. The Popov has scored. I wish you'd pop off, Harry. After you give me that bad news. There's been 3 shots in goal in that game. Very low. Not really much happening. We got the 1.5 goal. So Dynamo Kiev has scored 1-0 up there, and hopefully that ends that. So all our bets are finally in the balance, aren't they? We got the under 3.5 goals in Juventus. There's been 3 goals. Rennes under 2.5. There's been 2. Under 1.5 goals in this game, there's been 1, and we want Chelsea to score at 60 minutes to score. So everything is really, really right in the balance. It could go either way.
It could indeed. Just take you around the grounds. Nigel, sorry, we got a question actually. Let me get to this before before it's too late. Paul asks, what's the odds on the draw for Chelsea?
2-1. 2-1. So 2-1 the draw, and Chelsea are -150. But the thing is, Chelsea could I don't know if they made any substitutions yet. Let's have a look if they made. I don't think they have they?
I'll tell you right now. Bear with me 1 second. It's just loading up. No, they haven't. Not yet.
Yeah. So if they bring Giroud on, Mason Mount, Timo Werner, and go for it for the last 20 minutes, they'll win it. But with this starting 11 that they've got on the pitch, they may be happy for a draw. But any player that Chelsea bring in on that bench more or less strengthens the side, doesn't it? I mean, if you look at all those players on the bench, they're all quality players. So I fully expect Chelsea to win this. I still think they'll win. But I wouldn't be betting the draw. I'm happy with Chelsea to win the game. The only problem with Chelsea is the goalkeeper.
Yeah. Just going back to the PSG game to find out what exactly is going on there. UEFA have released a statement. They've said that following the alleged incident involving the 4th official, the match was temporarily suspended. After consultation with both teams, it was agreed that the match will restart with a different 4th official, and UEFA will investigate the matter. But
there's no fans in the stadium. You can't get any fans in the stadium. They can get a 4th official within seconds. Yeah, okay. Exactly. No one's allowed in. Well, how many 4th officials are at games?
But so that's what UEFA are saying. Now, Istanbul Başakşehir are saying they will not resume the game because that official will be replaced by the one in the VAR truck. That is the idea. That's what UEFA want to happen. But Istanbul say they won't play on if that guy moves into the VAR truck because they don't want him to be involved in the game at all. And if he does move into the VAR truck, then he is involved in some way. So UEFA have an issue now because they need at least 2 officials in the VAR truck and there isn't another one on site. So we're in a bit of a stalemate there. Don't know what's going to happen.
Well, it's a meaningless game, isn't it, really? I mean, nothing, well, I don't know. They've got to play the game, but they'll probably have to play the game in 24 hours. They might play the game tomorrow. I would have to wait and see, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. I mean, it's terrible, really, but we live in a land these things aren't acceptable, and the players have taken the law into their own hands, and they've united together and said we're not playing. So if that fourth official has said the things he has said or alleged to have said, then I can see every reason why they don't want to play, and I don't think they should play.
It's good to see, though. It's good to see PSG also getting on board with it, though. If it has occurred, it's good that
Paris is a very multicultural football team. Yeah. Paris is probably the most multicultural, one of the most multicultural cities in the world. Yeah. So if you ever been to Paris, you're very luxury to been to Paris. It's what it is. It's a very multicultural place, and they've got to make a stand. And let's get back to the football. The goals, Harry, they had 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. We've had 10 goals, and if we count 2 for Paris Saint-Germain, we've got 12 goals so far with half an hour to go. So I reckon
our lowest entry is 14.
Well, I reckon now, I still think 16, 17 is your favourite. Who's got 16 or 17?
16. We've got Doug Wedge on 16. We've got John Parker on 17. We've got Michael Sinclair on 17. So 3 people in the running for the 16-17 region. And then it goes up to 18, 19, 21, 22, all the way up to 23. So, let's see.
I think you're looking at around about 16, 17 wins this. So, that's going to be that anyone who's sitting on 16, 17 is going to be is going to be the favourite at the moment. Just to let you know that if this Paris Saint-Germain game does go ahead, me and Harry will not be doing it. We'll stop whatever happens here. I know Harry sent me a text during the break, and he said, "If you pay me 3 times the money tonight, I'm more than happy to do it. If not, you're on your own, Nige." That's from Harry. So I just wanted to just share that text message with you that Harry sent me there. So
if you can set up a GoFundMe page if you want the broadcast to get in.
If you want me to say to the Paris Saint-Germain game, then the stupid bet I had on the draw in the Man United game is void. No, I don't.
Just a substitution in the game between RB Leipzig and Manchester United. Paul Pogba has just come on for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's side, replacing Matic. Pogba scored a wonderful goal for Man United at the weekend, very much the catalyst in their comeback there. But of course, his agent, Mino Raiola, this week has been talking about the fact that his client, Paul Pogba, wants to leave Manchester United sooner rather than later. Big mess of a situation there. And we all know what Mino Raiola's like. He doesn't keep his mouth shut. Notorious for engineering moves for footballers. And it seems like he's at it again there. So what a story it would be if Pogba was United's hero tonight, Nigel.
He was his hero of the weekend, wasn't he? I mean, The goal he scored was a worldie. He's a world-class player. But the thing is, he's got a lot to turn this around. He'd be your hero tonight, wouldn't he? Your pictures of Aubameyang in your bedroom would be taken down with Paul Pogba if he got you the draw for 70 quid for the draw, wouldn't it, Harry? 140 quid for the draw.
Unfortunately, my wife doesn't let me have Arsenal pictures in my bedroom anymore.
Oh, come on, she knows. I can imagine his and her side, little picture of Aubameyang and Hector Bellerin on the wall. And then,
maybe if Aubameyang started scoring a few goals again.
Has the missus complained yet about the Arsenal bed sheets?
I'm not even going to lie. When I first met her, when I was 21, 22, I did have Arsenal bed sheets. That's not even a lie.
There you go. Unbelievable.
Yep.
But anyway, bad news in the Championship. Cardiff have gone 2-1 up against Stoke. Stoke were in second place in the table very briefly, they would have dropped down quite dramatically on the back of that result there, or if it stays like that. But so that's not very good in the Cardiff game. Let's have a look at some other domestic results at the moment, or scores at the moment. Coventry 0, Luton 0, Huddersfield 2, Sheffield Wednesday 0. Good for us long term. Millwall QPR is 1-1. Stoke 1, Coventry 2, Swansea 0, Bournemouth 0, and Watford 2, Rotherham 0. Some very, very tricky fixtures this week. And usually in the Championship or League One or League Two, you would get a few teams that are minus money. But this week and this weekend, there is no teams that minus money. Such is the nature now in these lower league English divisions where anybody can beat anybody. The prices on the underdogs are much shorter than the outsiders, much shorter than they have been for years, and the home sides just aren't getting it anymore. So it's a really, really difficult time in the Championship, and there's a huge rebase, and anybody can beat anybody. And tonight in the Championship, a few draws. One favourite has won in Watford, and Huddersfield have won. And every other favourite pretty much has got beat. So, really changing times in those lower league divisions.
Is indeed. Barcelona attacking Juventus. They missed a golden opportunity. Braithwaite picking up on the rebound after a good save from the goalkeeper, Gianluigi Buffon, after Messi's initial effort. So still 3-0 to Juventus in that one. It's still RB Leipzig 2, Man United 0, still Chelsea 1. Krasnodar 1. Let's have a look at Chelsea. Have they made any changes yet? Is Frank Lampard proactively going to go after this game, or will he be happy to just see it out?
I think they'll want to. I think Chelsea will want to win. I don't see any reason why they would not want to win at home to the Krasnodar. I know they're going to be players, but everyone in that team is pushing for start. This is a very exciting Chelsea side that are going to push high in the Premier League. So whoever comes on will want to prove themselves. So I think there's a huge, huge incentive for Chelsea to win the game. And I still think they have the quality to win the game. If you look at the stats, what are the stats of the game? Harry? Shots on target, and it's all Chelsea. So look here, we've got
I've got
60%, 13 shots on target. Not many. Sorry, 13 goal attempts, only 2 on target. But they're much the better side.
Yep, they are indeed. And then not just on the night, they're much the better side, so you'd back them anyway. They've just got a really magnificent squad at the moment, Chelsea. It pains me to say it, but I think Frank Lampard's building something there. Give him a bit of time. Maybe next year.
I think next year Chelsea will be a real major force. And I think it will take the thing is Werner. Once Werner gets to use the Premier League, and he hasn't really adapted well to the Premier League. Once he adapts to the Premier League, then I think they're the real deal.
Yeah, agreed. Barcelona missing an opportunity there to potentially get back in that game. Griezmann's volley wide. We're just seeing a chance now for Krasnodar actually coming forward against Chelsea. Ball taken on the edge of the box, forced a good save out of Kepa down to his right. And Krasnodar they earned themselves a corner off of the back of that. But Krasnodar just reminding Chelsea that they've got a bit of a threat of their own as well. And I'm surprised, Nigel, by how they've played this evening and the fact that they're still in the game at this point.
Well, they're playing for pride, and they're playing for opportunity to pride, and players who want a big name change and do well. Big opportunity for them. But Chelsea, like I say, these matches are won off the bench. As soon as they make a few changes, and they've got nothing to play for really. Krasnodar, they've already qualified for the Europa League. Pretty much, Rennes losing against Seville, so that's not going to change. And they're just playing for pride, and that's what it is. But I still think with 20 minutes to go, I still think Chelsea will win. Chelsea even money now. We've got a little bit of plus 120 on Chelsea, but I still think at even money, I still think Chelsea will find a way through in the end.
Free kick for Manchester United in a dangerous position. Bruno Fernandes is standing over it, as is Marcus Rashford. He'll fancy himself here, Fernandes. He's going to strike it right-footed. It's gone off the crossbar. Bruno Fernandes going desperately close to getting Manchester United back in the game. And then there's a foul from Brandon Williams to prevent the Leipzig counter-attack. He's going to pick up a yellow card for his troubles. But Bruno Fernandes over that free kick. He struck it well. It comes back off the crossbar, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will be cursing his luck at the moment.
Yeah, that was a great opportunity. To be fair, the goalkeeper was inviting him to put it in that space, but he hit it absolutely perfectly. You know, it was absolutely unbelievable. The woodworkers come to this, and if they got that goal, what an amazing end, like 20 minutes. But it's sort of lost this lull, this game now, and the game was absolutely desperate for a Manchester United goal to make it so exciting. It's also desperate for a goal for our 3.5 bet, which is looking quite not going to happen at the moment. But I think Leipzig are just pretty much thinking, well,
Leipzig have scored. Leipzig have added a third. It's Kluivert, Justin Kluivert, son of the former Dutch legend Patrick Kluivert. He's got on the score sheet. And RB Leipzig, just a moment after Manchester United hit the crossbar, have increased their lead to 3 goals. And you can see from Julian Nagelsmann and the response of his players, they're absolutely delighted. They feel like that probably is enough now to secure their...
Look at the defensive. Look at the goalie here, though. I mean, look at this goal. I mean, the goalie's coming out. What do I do?
But I mean, look at Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire is almost like, it looks as though he's trying to like leave it for the goalkeeper to come out.
The goalie should have come out there, and he should have hit that, just cleaned it, gone right through the player, just smashed that ball. If I was running my football team and my goalie never come out and cleared that out of his feet, I'd go absolutely ballistic.
He's got to dive down on it, hasn't he? He's gone with his leg.
Harry needs to run out, kick the ball, clear it, get it clear out, or run out and slide out and take it with your hands. He did neither, hesitated, and it's in the back of the net. Shocking performance from Man United again. Heads are dropping now. We just need one more goal to cash the over 3.5. And Man United going out of Europe. But Will Solskjaer, it wouldn't surprise me if Man United get rid of the manager, bring in a Pochettino or something like that, and then go and win the Europa League.
Yep. It wouldn't surprise me either. Eric says, call the taxi, Harry. Yep, it is time, I think. There's no chance of it coming off now. It's all over. Eric also asks, should we be buyers on Chelsea at -120?
Not -120. I think it may have been a little bit time. They're now +110. I do think I've already bet them at 120, and I've had a little bit at -2, which is a bit low for me. But I do think that Chelsea will win this game. Yes, I think with 20 minutes to go, Krasnodar are playing their FA Cup final in their heads. They've gone to London. They're playing at Stamford Bridge. They're playing at Chelsea side, and I think they will run out of legs at some stage. And I think Chelsea will get the winner. And I just want Giroud to come on. I want some subs to come on, and I want to show that Chelsea have got some intensity to win it. And if you're going to bet them, I would wait possibly until Lampard makes some changes. But as yet, 70 minutes, is he made a sub yet? I don't think he's made a sub. I'm looking at the team here. Has he made a sub?
No, he hasn't, by the looks of it.
Yeah, which is unheard of. So I'd wait 5 minutes. Hopefully, to make 2 or 3 changes and bring in players who are hungry to get into the starting 11 against Everton at the weekend, and then bet them, because this team at the moment might not be good enough to get the winner, but the 3 players or 2 players coming on will definitely change the way of the game. It's another penalty.
Yep, pen in the game between Barcelona and Juventus. It's gone Barcelona's way. Messi playing it.
He's offside, though. He's offside.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. Yeah, Griezmann's offside there. That's not going to be awarded, surely. Surely the VAR is going to take a look at that.
It should never, but this is never a penalty. No. I mean, if this is a penalty, this is worse than the penalty before with Ronaldo. I mean, this will be 3 penalties in this game. I mean, there's never a penalty that.
Not given. Bit of an update with regards to what's going on in the Paris Saint-Germain game. Bashak Shahir is still refusing to take part in the game if that 4th official is involved in any capacity. Even if he's in the VAR truck, they don't want him involved in the game. They've told Turkish TV that they will not return to the pitch if he is involved in any way, shape or form. UEFA currently do not have another official to step into his place. By law, UEFA could now award the 3-0 win to PSG because Bashak Shahir are refusing to play, but no decision has been made at this point.
I think that's what they'll do. I think they'll give him a 3-0. If he gives it 3-0, we get 3. I don't know. Should we give 3 points to 3 goals for the competition rather than 2? I didn't know what to do, but I think that's probably what they'll do.
The issue is here, though, Nigel. If UEFA were to award PSG the win, and the side who suffered the racism were penalised, that would be a massive own goal for UEFA in my book. I think
I agree with that, but the thing is, they've got nothing at all to play for, have they? Apart from pride. If it was a game that was the first game of the Champions League, I think they'd do a replay, or they'd say it's going to be replayed tomorrow. But they were going to finish bottom of the group anyway, and their Champions League was going to come to an end anyway.
Yeah.
So the only people who would complain would be Man United.
Yeah. Cool.
Because Man United would turn around and say, well, Paris Saint-Germain could have lost that game, and we could have qualified for the. Oh God, what a terrible goal that was!
Goal in the game between Barca and Juve. It's Chiellini, and Juventus are now 4-0 up in the Camp Nou. We're talking about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer getting sacked. I wouldn't be surprised if Ronald Koeman didn't make it to the weekend either.
Well, yeah, I mean that's defensively they're all over the place. I mean, Barcelona just.
Is he offside? Is Chiellini offside when that comes off Ronaldo? I think he is.
Be another one disallowed. We've had.
Yeah, I think he is. At first glance,
yeah. I think he could be.
Gonna have to wait and see, but I think it's under VAR review. You can see it here. Ronaldo gets the first touch. Chiellini's offside. Yeah, the goal's going to be ruled out. Although I think Ronaldo was a shirt.
Your record on VAR isn't very good, Harry. To be fair, to be honest,
I made one slip up that I'm still adamant.
One.
What was the other one?
I can't. There's so many I can't remember. Honestly, I can't remember them. But we're now in these Champions League bets. All our bets now are really, really, really close, aren't they? I mean, we've got Leipzig over 3.5 goals. It's 3-0. So we need a goal there. Chelsea, we desperately need Chelsea to win. It's 1-1. Barcelona, Juventus under 3.5 goals. It's 3-0. Dynamo Kiev under 1.5 goals. It's 1-0. Rennes, Seville under 2.5 goals. It's 2-0. Nothing's ever done easy with us, is it? Nothing's ever easy. We can't just sit there and get a 0-0 or a 4-4. Everything comes down to the last kick. So really, we want to go in Chelsea for Chelsea. We want to go in the Leipzig Man United game. We don't want to go Barcelona. We don't want to go Kiev. We don't want to go in Rennes. So if there's goals, we just want them to be Manchester United and a Chelsea goal. That's it. And then nothing else. And then we've had a good night. But we're headed into 10 minutes with everything on the line. Squeaky bum time, my old mate. Squeaky bum time.
Chelsea have made some substitutions, Nigel.
Yeah, one of them wanted to see. I wanted to see Werner. That's good, but I didn't want to see Kante. I mean, he's not the player. He's not the player you want to see when you want goals. I mean, he's the one you want to see when you want to go under to shore things up. So Werner, yeah, I like Werner. I think Werner will be hungry in the last 15 minutes, and he's got a position where he could score. I wanted to see Giroud. I wanted to see Werner and Giroud or Mason Mount. Come on, that would have made me more excited. But let's have a look what Chelsea are now. Chelsea, well, they're not really much different from before this. Plus 110. 15 minutes to go. I'm not going to bet them again. I've got too much riding on them. I've bet them at 120 and I've bet them at minus $2. So we need a Chelsea goal really there. So it's all up in the air. I mean, I'm not going to place any more bets now. We've got 10 minutes to go. Yep. All 5 of our wagers are on the edge. So it's going to be a nervy 10 minutes or so.
Let's quickly remind you of all the scores. RB Leipzig 3, Manchester United 0, Chelsea 1, Krasnodar 1, Barcelona 0, Juventus 3, Rennes 0, Sevilla 2, Dynamo Kiev 1, Ferencvaros 0. And then, of course, that game in Paris remains suspended at the moment. You can see the kitmen have come out into the stands and they're putting stuff away. So the suggestion is that the game's not going to continue based on that. He's come out and he's putting all the PSG tracksuits and stuff away. So perhaps they've been given an indication that the game is not going to continue. Let me see if I can find any update on it.
It'd be very different if they had 60,000 fans in attendance. The game would go on.
Yeah.
Honestly, the game would happen. They'd kick the guy into touch, they'd get someone else in, and there are 60,000 fans. But because there's no fans in, I don't think it's going to happen. But, I think that if they're going to award 3 goals, we've got to award 3 goals in the competition. That's all I care about, making sure that we do the right, fair thing here. So what I need to know, Harry, is how we've got 1, 2, 5, 3, 4, 5, 8, 10, 11. So if we're giving 3 goals to Paris Saint-Germain, which I think we have to, if Uefa give 3 goals, that's 14 goals so far.
Yep.
8, 10. Have we got anyone on 14?
We have. We've got Evan Herring on 14. He's the only person. Just double checking that. Right. Yeah, only one on 14.
And how many have we got? Many on 15?
On 15, we've got Paul, and we've got just Paul. Just the one on 15.
There's a goal. Rennes Seville, which is going to go. It's going to smash our under 2.5 goal bet. That's going to lose and there's a penalty which is going to make us win. So we're going to cash 1 ticket if we get a goal. Man United have got a penalty. Harry's got very excited because he thinks it could be a draw. And Rennes scores. So we've got 2 goals. So it's going to go here. Could change everything. So we need the Man United penalty. We need Fernandes to score, which is going to cash it over 3.5. And we're going to go. The Rennes Seville is going to go under. So we're going to 1-on-1.
It's a bit of a penalty merchant. Is Bruno Fernandes got a chance to add another one here? Here he comes, Bruno Fernandes with a little hop, and it's into the bottom corner. And it's RB Leipzig 3, Manchester United 1, around about 10 minutes plus stoppage time remaining in that one. Let's go to the game between Rennes and Seville. We're just waiting for our pictures to flick over. We know there's been a goal there. Just in a replay, actually, first of the penalty that went Manchester United's way. Mason Greenwood went down under Konate's challenge. Certainly looked a clumsy challenge. Have no complaints about that one being awarded. Just taking a look at the Sevilla goal now. Given away by the Rennes backline. Striker slipped through. Left-footed finish into the bottom corner. Really nicely done. And
nice goal.
Naziri has got his second of the night, and Sevilla currently lead by 3-0.
Yeah, so we've got now. So that means that the over 3.5 goals Leipzig, Manchester United are cashed, and the under 2.5 in Rennes. So we still got the other 3 games right in the mix and the shake-up, and that's obviously bombed out a few of the guys on the goals. So how many goals we got now? 4, 5, 6, 9, 12, 13. Got 15 goals now, Harry. So 15 goals are on the board if we give him Paris Saint-Germain the 3. 4, 5, 6, 9.
Is that right? Is it not 16?
16 goals. Sorry, 16 goals, Harry. Sorry.
That's all right. It's usually me that gets counting wrong, so I'm not saying.
How many have we got on 16?
Just the one, Doug Wedge, currently in the driving team.
So I think he might be a little bit too early there, Doug. I think we're going to get a goal somewhere.
He says cash. Matthews just let us know that Olivier Giroud has entered the pitch at Stamford Bridge.
This is what we want. So we want a Chelsea goal. That'll be good. And we just need the Dynamo Kiev game to finish as it is, lovely, and Barcelona Juventus to finish as it is, lovely. And there's a VAR review in this Rennes game, so we might not have lost there yet. So we'll have to see how that goes.
Man United Man United have got a second, Nigel. Oh, where's the
no. I think he wanted a penalty. It's a goal.
Goal stands. Paul Pogba of all people. I said that Paul Pogba might end up being the hero. It's going to be VAR reviewed. Pogba's celebrating, but the referee's walking over.
Tell you what, Harry, you're 7-1 the draw. Ain't looking too bad here, mate.
It isn't, is it? It's come off Maguire, then the defender, then gone in.
There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever.
Where did it strike Maguire, though? Did it hit his hand at all? We'll see from here.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that at all. Manchester United are back in this. It's come off Maguire's head. That's a big head, to be fair. You're not going to... It's definitely going to come... It's definitely...
What a game now we got. I mean, this is going to be an incredible last... Harry, if you get the 20 quid at 7-1, the line interference on the internet will be going a bit.
We're going out on Friday. We're going out on Friday.
Ren, and we've got another goal. I think Ren v Seville is going to be. It's a penalty. It wasn't a VAR for the 2-0. It's a penalty, and it's gone for Ren. Have got a penalty here, so that's going to be now more goals. I mean, 19 was my pick at the beginning. I think we're going to be very close to that. I think 19 is going to be 19-20 mark. If you've got that, you're looking quite good for the 50 quid. Ren's penalty now.
Steps up, left-footed, top corner. It's Ren 1, Sevilla 3.
5, 6, 7, 10, 14, 15. So we've got 18 goals now.
18 goals now. And those of you are on 18 are Josh Riente, our winner from last week, who predicted a
Josh is barred. Josh is barred.
Derek Swales, Matthew Robbins. Yeah, those are the three on 18 at the moment.
How many's on 19?
On the 19, we've got Eric Goldman, Darren Davis, David George, Dana Webster. So a few there.
That would be my favourite. I think 19-20 would be.
You went 19 from the start, to be fair.
At least I'll write something tonight. At least I'll write something. It sums my luck up. The only thing I could be right about is the only one thing I can't fucking win.
Well, you could give yourself the 50 quid if it makes you feel better.
I need it. No, of course I won't do that. I wouldn't be doing that. But it's the only time I'm right is something I can't win. Perfect. I'm more worried about the £20 you've got in the draw. 3-0 down.
3-0 down. Can you imagine? That would be some cool. I think I'll take your job if that's the case.
Now, you called it when it was 1-0 down or 2-0 down. You didn't call it at 3-0 down. At 3-0 down, at 3-0 down, you were thinking, I know exactly what you're thinking, how can I tell the missus that I've lost 20 quid betting? That's what you're thinking. That's what you were thinking. I can't tell the missus that I lost 20 quid to Nigel betting on the draw. Oh, no.
RB Leipzig are the ones in possession at the moment. They got a throw in around about the edge of Manchester United's penalty area. It's a bit early to be going in the corner, but Manchester United looking to get the ball forward as quickly as they possibly can. They've got a throw in of their own now, but it's not in a position they'd like it to be. I think they've won a free kick actually for an offside. So a chance for David De Gea to pump the ball up the field for Manchester United. 5 minutes remaining there, plus, of course, whatever is added on as stoppage time. United desperate for a third goal to keep their Champions League dream alive this season.
Yeah, this is going to be a real like frantic, like throw everything at it. But it's defensive frailties that cost them as well. I mean, going forward offensively, Man United are up there with some of the best in the Premier League and some of the best in Europe, really, when they get going. But defensively, they're shocking. I mean, they give too many silly goals away. You know, the goals they gave away at West Ham, the chance they gave away, 2 goals away against Southampton, goals in Europe, and that's what's going to cost them. But what a game. We got 4 minutes now. The third goal was the one. The third goal was just terrible. Terrible.
Just a bit more news from the PSG game. According to RM, let's see it here. Surely that was offside, no? Yep,
yeah, it was.
Flags up.
Pogba just kept randomly gave the ball away there, though.
So basically what's going on in the game between PSG is that the game is now most likely to be played tomorrow because apparently Demba Ba and the PSG captain Marquinhos had agreed that all 22 players would take to the pitch again hand in hand to restart the game and show some solidarity against the racism that took place there. But several Bashik Shahir players do not want to restart the game tonight. So it looks very unlikely that's going to happen. I also mentioned to you a few minutes ago that the PSG staff were packing things away as well, which suggests that the decision.
I think that's such a disadvantage for like Manchester United. If Man United are going out, they know exactly what they got. They've got a team who've got nothing to play for. Results have gone against them. I think that's a huge disadvantage. I mean, I'll be livid if I was a Man United fan. Man United on the press here. They're going to get a chance. They're going to get one chance, Man United. I'll tell you.
Thankfully, it fell to McTominay and nobody else. Paul in the chat asks, is there a podcast this week? There is, isn't there? Now, just as far as I'm aware, there is.
Yeah, we're doing one on Thursday. That'll be live in the groups on Thursday evening. Myself, Derek, Harry and Richard will be with us giving his tips.
Love Richard's tips. How did Richard get on?
He won, I think. I think he won.
He's got a good record.
He had Norwich, and he had Tottenham.
Yeah, that's Tottenham. It. Yeah.
We all had Tottenham, but that was pretty easy, to be fair.
We're not going to talk about that anymore. Here's a Kluivert for RB Leipzig. Plays it to the right-hand side. Here's Haidara now. Chips it in towards the back post. Sabitzer was there. Went down under the challenge of the Manchester United defender. But nothing doing. Man United coming flooding forward now. Here's Scott McTominay, plays it to his left to Paul Pogba. Onto Rashford. He's inside the penalty area for Manchester United. Checks back onto his right foot. Rashford shoots, but it's a save.
That was a silly thing to do there.
He had to at least try and bend it into the far corner if he was going to do that. Go across the goal. Give the keeper something to worry about. Comfortable save for Gulaschi in the Leipzig goal, and he's going to take his time, understandably so, given that there is round about a minute of normal time left in that one. Have Manchester United got a late equaliser in them? We'll soon find out.
I hope not.
I hope not too. As an Arsenal fan, I'd rather I went out than I won my bet, genuinely.
I hope not. I mean, let's have a look. I mean, it's Man United are just so silly as a team that, they make it so difficult themselves, and they come alive with like 20 minutes to go. And I could see the same happening against Man City at the weekend. They could probably lose 2 goals, 3 goals or something, and then really play brilliant for the last 15, 20 minutes. And that's how they are. But, I mean, let's have a look where we are. Obviously, we've got over 3.5 goal Leipzig cash, under 2.5 goal Rennes, which we've lost, under 3.5 goals Barcelona Juve, 3-0 heading into the injury time now. Chelsea at 6-5, which is we need a goal. The Ferencváros Dynamo Kiev game has finished 1-0. So we've cashed the under 1.5. So we're 2-1 at the moment. We need we need Barcelona Juve to finish, and then we're pretty much guaranteed profit from our in-play. And if we can hit a Chelsea goal, then we've had a good night. But just get this Barcelona game over the line, finish that at 3-0, and then it's been a good night for in-play. But it'll be a brilliant night if Chelsea can get a winner as well.
It will indeed. Just watching what's going on in the game between Leipzig and Man United. Man United can't seem to get the ball under control at the moment, which will be much to the frustration of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. 4 minutes added on there. We've had around about 40, 50 seconds of that already. You can see Man United.
With 4 minutes, you're going to have one chance. You're going to have one chance. You will have one opportunity. With 3 or 4 minutes, you're going to have one chance to get the ball into the box. And you're going to have one opportunity. And what they'll do is they'll lump Maguire up, they'll lump all the big boys up, and they'll try to cause mayhem in that box for just one chance. And they will get one chance.
Pogba puts the ball into the penalty area. Oh, nearly a mix-up there between the Leipzig centre-back and his goalkeeper. The goalkeeper came out on top. He was taking everything, that as goalkeeper should, as David De Gea should have done earlier in the game. He's taken out his defender there, but made sure he's got hold of the ball. And
that's exactly what you expect from a goalkeeper, and that's exactly what the goalie should. And Henderson made play in the game against Man City at the weekend rather than De Gea because of that mistake. I think that was his mistake. Just clear the ball. That's all he had to do.
Man United. I'm not sure what Marcus Rashford's doing now. He's throwing it back to the goalkeeper. Julian Nagelsmann watches on, hoping his team can see it out. No news of a goal yet in the game between Chelsea and Krasnodar. Must be around about the same point as this one. 17
goal attempts for Chelsea, 5 shots on target, 60% of possession. So they're really pushing, and they've been pushing in the last 10 or 15 minutes. But not scoring. the intensity level obviously isn't there because they've already qualified. But I think if they don't get the job done and Barcelona ends at Juve ends 3-0, we'd have a winning night in play. But the Chelsea result will make it a very good night if we can get both of these. We can get a goal there in the next 2 minutes. Barcelona Juve's finished 3-0, so we've cashed on the under 3.5. So that's good as well. So we've gone, we were looking all right. So Harry, let's have a look at these goals before we can add to a goal for Chelsea. We've got 5, 7, 10, 14, 15. We've got 18 goals. Oh!
Manchester United continuing to pressure RB Leipzig in the dying stages here. It was good work from Pogba on the right-hand side. Low cross. Oh,
that could have gone anywhere.
Konate trying to cut it out of the near post. He's almost put it through his goalkeeper's legs. Whoa. That was close. That
could have gone absolutely anywhere. That should be game over now. Take it down to the corner flag. Waste of time. Man United look like they're going to go out of the Champions League. Only go to Solskjaer. I said to you before the game, it was 450 in England to be, or half time, 450 to be the next Premier League manager to be sacked. He's now 2-1 favourite to be the next Premier League manager to lose his job. And I think that puts huge pressure on him. And he's got to get something from the derby against Man City at the weekend.
Here's Rashford.
That's terrible. That's terrible. That's it. I think that's it, mate.
It's all over. RB Leipzig 3, Manchester United 2. Leipzig are through to the knockout stages of the Champions League. Manchester United, well, assuming that PSG get their result against Istanbul whenever that game takes place, Manchester United will be out of the Champions League. On the 18 goal front, we've got Matthew Robbins, Josh Riente, and Derek Swales. Nigel, what do you want to do with this? We've got 3 winners. Some sort of tie break for next.
We did it. We did it before, didn't we? We did a like a little draw, didn't we? So we did a little draw. Right. So what I'm going to do is Chelsea's still playing at the moment. So let's just hope that there's no Chelsea's finished. So the game's over. So just to recap tonight, we've gone over 3.5 goals. Leipzig, Man United. This is 1. Under 3.5 goals. Barcelona, Juventus, which was 1. Under 2.5 goals, Rennes, Seville, we've lost. Chelsea to win the match, which was lost. And we've got under 1.5 in the Dynamo Kiev Ferencváros game, which is 1. So I think it'll be a very, very, very small winning night. We needed to do that. For the game tonight, we need a winner tonight. So regardless if Paris Saint-Germain won 6, if Paris Saint-Germain wins 6-0, 7-0. It don't matter. It's about tonight. So we're going to do it tonight. So I want you to give me the names of the people.
Yep. So we've got Matthew Robbins.
Yep.
We have got Josh Riente.
Yep.
And Derek
Can you put a number next to all 3 of their names? So like number 1, 2, or number 3 next to their names, please.
Yep.
Right, okay. I've got bits of paper here that I've all got. Right, so Harry, there's a number that's gone in there.
Yep.
There is a number that's gone in there. And there is a number that has gone into there. And all 3 of those numbers I've swung them all up. They all have a number on, right?
Yep.
So whichever one I pull out of these is the number that corresponds with your pad. Yep. Can you show your pad?
Yep, I got it here.
So here we go. Right. So they're the 3. So go left, middle, or right. What do you think, Harry?
Go left.
Left. The number as the winner is number 1.
Number 1 is Matthew Robbins. Congratulations to Matthew Robbins. You've won yourself £50 credit over at premiersportsplays.com. I think, shall I show that to prove that I put that as number 1? In the interest of fairness here. Don't know if you guys can see that. Where is it? There he is.
Is that your homework, Harry?
Yes, my homework. Yep.
Oh, okay. Oh, that Ravens number 1. Lovely.
Matthew Robbins, there you go. Congratulations. Paul's not happy in the comments, Nigel. He's not happy. But
Got to be a winner. It's only the fair option. Matthew's the winner, and I think that's going to be the end of obviously the live show now with the Champions League coming back in March. I think we need a little bit of a rest, myself and Harry. I'd like to say that you've had a fantastic time with us, and I hope you've enjoyed this podcast through the last few betcasts through the last few weeks and months that we've been doing it. And hopefully we'll come back in March and do the knockout stages of the Champions League. Just wish you all a very, very, very happy Christmas, and hopefully return some form at the weekend, and hopefully have a winner tomorrow with Real Madrid. And it's a bit unlucky today with Lazio. I felt it was a disappointing performance, but have a very happy Christmas. Hope you're all very healthy and a very wealthy new year as well. And thank you yet again from everyone at Premier Sports Place for all your fantastic support, and through thick and thin, and even good runs and bad ones. I really appreciate it. And thank you very much for joining myself and Harry over the last few months in this betcast.
Yeah, it's been great fun. I've really enjoyed it. And thank you to Nigel for having me on board. Thank you to you guys for putting up with all the bad news I've been bringing you as well each week. But it's been great fun, and wish you all a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all of that stuff. And we'll be back very, very soon with more.
And just one thing before I go, Harry, I'll be sending my bank details to do the transfer. I expect it in the next 10 minutes.
No problem.
Take care.
Take care. Bye.